They told you to be harmless, but they never told you the cost of it. Think about it. From the moment you were a child, the world whispered a script into your ears. They said, be nice, be polite, don't make waves, don't push too hard, don't shine too bright. You were taught to lower your voice, to fold your ambitions neatly inside a box labeled acceptable. You were told to keep your claws trimmed, your teeth hidden, and your hunger chained. It sounds noble, doesn't it? Harmless, virtuous, always smiling, always agreeing, always making sure no one feels uncomfortable around you. They tell you that's the path to respect. But here's the truth they don't say out loud. Harmless people aren't respected, they're overlooked. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine a lion with no fangs, no roar, no power. Do you respect it? No, you pity it. And the world doesn't reward pity, it steps over it. That's what happens when you strip away your fire, your edge, your hunger. You become safe for everyone else. But for yourself, you become a danger to your own dreams, to your own self-worth, to your own potential. See, people will tell you not to be competitive. Winning isn't everything, they'll say. Don't be too aggressive, it's not polite. They'll tell you to step back, let others shine, be satisfied with the crumbs. But the ones telling you this? Look closely, they're the ones holding the feast. I'm here to tell you something that might sound ugly to a world obsessed with politeness. You should be a monster. Yes, you heard me. Not a mindless, destructive beast. No, that's chaos. But a controlled, disciplined, unstoppable force. Because there's a dangerous truth about life. It doesn't reward the harmless. It rewards the capable. And true capability comes when you've tasted your own power and mastered it. When you grow those mental teeth, that sharpness of mind, that relentless will, you stop moving through life like a guest hoping for an invitation. Think about the difference between hoping and deciding. Hoping says, I really want this, but maybe if the stars align. Deciding says, I don't care if the stars align. I'll build my own sky. That's the shift. That's when you stop waiting for permission and start demanding results. And here's the part they won't tell you in those feel-good quotes on social media. Being truly confident starts with being dangerous. Not in a way that harms others, but in a way that makes it very clear. You cannot be ignored, you cannot be underestimated, and you cannot be stopped. You've seen this in people before. The ones who walk into a room and instantly, everyone pays attention. Not because they're loud, not because they're rude, but because they carry themselves with an unshakable conviction that says, I am here to win, and I will not stop. When you develop that kind of presence, something magical happens. People stop telling you to be harmless. They start asking, how do you do it? Because deep down, every person wants to feel that way. Unyielding, unshakable, and alive with purpose. But make no mistake, this isn't about arrogance. It's not about walking over others. It's about building the kind of inner strength that makes you unafraid of challenges, unafraid of rejection, unafraid of failure. It's about knowing you have the ability to fight for what matters and the discipline to know when not to. The road to becoming that kind of person isn't pretty. It means breaking the chains of comfort. It means having nights where you question everything, but keep going anyway. It means walking into storms because you know the sunshine on the other side will be worth it. And one day, you'll look back at the person you were when you were harmless and realize that version of you was just the seed. The monster, the capable, disciplined, unstoppable force, that's the tree. And that tree will not bend for every gust of wind. Because the world doesn't need another harmless person. The world needs someone who has the power to fight and the heart to choose when. And when you become that person, you'll stop asking for life to treat you kindly. You'll start telling life exactly how it's going to treat you. Be a monster, then master it. And never, ever apologize for your strength. When the storm comes, most people freeze. But not you. Listen carefully, because this is where the game changes. Life will throw situations at you that will feel impossible to untangle. Problems so tangled, so heavy, that most people would just sit down and say, "I'll deal with it later." But here's where you stand apart. You don't sit and wait. You assess, you plan, and you execute. You don't run in blindly. You don't hope for luck. You look the situation in the eye, take a deep breath, and say, "All right, here's how we're going to win." You dissect it piece by piece. You find the weak spots. You see opportunities where others see chaos. And then you move. You don't just move, you charge. Not recklessly, but with the confidence of someone who knows they were built for this exact moment. And that's the thing. You were built for it. The late nights, the hard calls, the impossible decisions, the moments when others crumble, you were shaped by them. If you ever decide you're going to do something, there's one promise you must keep. Never lie to yourself. That's the most lethal self-destruction there is. Because the second you start believing your own excuses, you've already lost. The worst betrayal isn't from other people. It's from yourself when you settle for less than you said you would. You see, the winners in life aren't the ones who hide in the shadows waiting for a perfect opening. They're not playing defense, hoping the game slows down. The winners play offense. They take the field. They push forward. They force the game to bend to their pace. And no, it's not about arrogance. It's about presence. It's about sending a silent message before you even speak. I am here. I am prepared. And I am not the one to mess with. You don't have to scream it. You don't have to pound your chest. You just have to carry yourself like the best version of you has already arrived. Because here's the truth. There's a way you move when you know who you are. A way you speak when you're certain of your mission. And when people see that, they think twice. They look at you and go, "Okay, I won't mess with that one." But that respect, that presence, it's not handed to you. It's earned. And it's earned through effort that makes the world take notice. You've got to put in the kind of work that screams, "Don't come for me unless you're ready for a fight." That's called doggedness, that relentless drive to keep pushing no matter what's in your way. But here's the thing about toughness. You don't get it from reading about it. You don't get it from watching other people do it. You get it from practicing being tough. And practicing toughness means stepping into situations that test you. It means doing the work even when your body says stop. It means staying in the fight when every part of you is begging for comfort. It means not giving up, not when you're tired, not when you're sore, not when the path gets steep. You see, anyone can work hard when they feel like it. That's easy. The real test is when you're drained, when you've failed 3 times already, when the finish line is still miles away, and you still take another step. That's when toughness is forged. The problem today is too many people want the reward without the suffering. They want the victory without the battle, the success without the grind. The moment it gets uncomfortable, they tap out. The second it feels heavy, they quit. Because life won't wait for you to be ready. It won't hand you the win, and it will never feel sorry for you. So stop waiting for life to get easier. Make yourself stronger. Become the kind of person who looks challenge in the eye and says, "I was built for this fight." And when it's all said and done, when you've given every ounce of yourself, you'll look back at the struggle and realize, it wasn't the win that made you. It was the fight. Whatever it takes means whatever it takes. It's not just a catchy line you say when you're feeling motivated. It's a promise you make to yourself when there's no one else in the room to hear it. It's the quiet, unshakable vow that no matter how dark it gets, no matter how heavy it feels, you will find a way to the other side. Picture this: a wall so high you can't see the top, a storm so violent you can barely stand, a road so long you can't see where it ends. Most people, when they face that, stop. They look for an easier path. They tell themselves, maybe this isn't for me. But not you. You square your shoulders, dig your heels into the ground, and say, I'm not going around this. I'm not waiting for it to pass. I'm going through it. Because here's the truth. Nothing worth having is ever handed to you. If you want it bad enough, you'll have to do whatever is necessary. And necessary doesn't mean comfortable. It doesn't mean convenient. It means sacrificing sleep, cutting distractions, swallowing your pride, and putting in the kind of work most people will never understand. Sometimes you'll give your absolute best, and it still won't be enough. That's when the weak quit. That's when they throw in the towel. But that's when you step up and do what's required. You push past the point where others stop. You go beyond good enough into the territory where champions are made. Too many people quit on the 1-yard line, one step away from the breakthrough, one push away from victory.